We're ready to start coffee talk.
Am I introducing everyone?
I don't know. Okay, the problem is we got coffee going and
it needs to be plunged.
Yeah, so
Plunge the coffee.
Wait, together. Is it team? Team.
The keeper of the coffee.
Yeah, slow.
And break.
And
That was a powerful moment. I'm glad we experienced that together.
I know. I felt like our energy.
With no crystals, the coffee will power us. But I'm not even drinking coffee. I'm drinking sparkling water because I'm still on my anti-coffee kick. Only 2.5 more weeks until I can have coffee in my body. Proper coffee talk.
Look at this. For we're having oat milk. So for all the commenters that will call us soy boys.
We're actually
No.
We're oat boys?
Oat boys.
Or Odie boys.
Odie boys.
Odie boys and sparkling water for life. Last time I had like cran raspberry or something like that. That was a good time in my life.
Let's talk.
Let's gab. Let's gab about fist fighting. This is Casey Lada and Esther Lynn. They've been doing this longer than I've been watching the sport, pretty much. This is the last pay-per-view, UFC pay-per-view of the decade was last night, UFC 245. You two have the distinct honor of being at the last pay-per-view card of the last decade and the last pay-per-view card of this decade. So I'm sure we'll get into that, but we're going to talk about UFC 245 first. Where do you guys want to start? A lot of things have happened in the last, not even 24 hours. Casey literally hasn't been stopped talking about it since the fight ended.
It was just a relief. Okay, it was just a relief. Okay, this was the big thing. The only reason it reminded me of the Conor Floyd scenario where it wasn't like I was rooting for someone, but the thought if Conor had knocked out Floyd, how like everything in our world professionally would just be flipped upside down, and not in a good way. I think it would just been insane. And I don't know if I would be able to handle that. And I feel like if Colby would have won, not because I'm rooting for Usman or anything, but like, just, I don't know, just the amount of, like, everything would have been flipped upside down again.
Also, I don't know that I wanted to hear it anymore.
Yeah, I don't hate Colby and like his gimmick. Like I get it because like it definitely works, but I was just like tired.
Yeah.
Like what he was saying meant nothing to me.
Yeah.
At the end of it, like when Conor talks, you listen, but when Colby Covington talks, it was like, all right, dude. When he kept bringing up Donald Trump, I think it just like at the beginning, I think it really ruffled my feathers. But after a while, I was just over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Like the first 10 times you did MAGA, did all this stuff. Okay. Yeah, it triggered me, but then it became just
you knew what he was gonna say.
I was like, I'm just. If you opened the book and instead of saying triggered by Donald Trump Jr., it said just annoyed and bored by Donald Trump Jr., I feel like that's where we were at by the end of the fight week.
What did you think of the actual fight? You took a lot of the photos, and you didn't have a lot of you had all the punch faces that we call them were Kamaru hitting Colby, but not a lot of Colby hitting Kamaru.
I do have Colby hitting Kamaru, but they weren't as clean. So like the shots, like when I'm doing a punch face gallery or I'm putting together photos, I'm looking for like face wrinkles or like that kind of stuff, or your ears. The ears moving happens a lot.
Ear jiggle.
Earlier in the night when that photo you have of Jan kicking, Uriah Faber was a perfect example.
Yeah, like his ears are like popping out, like that kind of stuff. So when I'm putting that together, and also just like a clean angle. Yeah. I don't get to move. Sure. I'm in the one spot, and for yesterday I was one spot off the corner pole. Right, so corner pole photographer makes it. Yeah, you can't really see very clearly. You can't move or whatever. So it just depends on where they hit each other, right? So from my angle, I had a lot cleaner shots of Kamaru hitting Colby. But I mean, it was still back and forth. But you could kind of tell, like just from the reactions of each fighter, Kamaru was better at walking through Colby's shots.
Yeah, like his neck would snap and then it would just pop back immediately. He was taking it on the chin, as they say.
The power was the difference.
100%. Also, those body shots, like early. I was sitting next to Steve Morocco, our co-worker, and the whole first round is like, we were like, I don't think if Colby keeps eating that teep to the front, or when he try and close the distance, Kamaru would get that standing knee or like that right hook to the body, like that's gonna catch up. It might not look like it's doing anything, but fourth round he's gonna be sucking air after that.
You know, but I think there was a slight fear that we might get a bad kickboxing fight with two wrestlers, but it wasn't a bad kickboxing. It was actually
one fight of the night.
In the dessert fight of the night, it 100%. was a hell of a fight, and a hell of an exciting fight, a hell of a tactical fight, a hell of a high technical fight. It had a brawling. It had had heart, it had perseverance, it had ball shots, it had eye pokes. Like what I mean, it covered it all. You know, it had everything except one thing: wrestling.
That's true. Which I was gonna say is, if you watch Colby Covington's last two fights against Robbie Lawler and Rafael dos Anjos, he shoots for the takedown in like first 5 seconds and gets it. Like he's immediately grappling. Not only did he not do that, there was no wrestling whatsoever. Which we did this on the we talked about it before the preview show.
Yeah.
How funny would it be if, of the 3 title fights, the one that everyone is saying is going to be a boring snooze fest gets the finish, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
It wasn't the best fight of the year, but as far as the championship grudge match fight, it absolutely exceeded expectations.
It is actually true when Dana was like, when's the last time a good grudge match was actually good? And it's true, they're not. A lot of times when guys have a ton of heat, they burn all that heat before they get into the cage.
Tito Ortiz, Ken Shamrock trilogy.
Yeah. And so if this one was and it worked in Kamaru's favor that he basically didn't bite the whole week. You know, it made, I don't know if that makes the fight more exciting, but they certainly didn't burn out before the fight started. So it had that going for it. And it was super violent.
Were you happy with the stoppage?
I felt the stoppage was warranted because Covington wasn't getting out of that position. The photo that you took of him face down with blood was literally leaking out of his face. Like there's drips of blood coming. I didn't have a problem with the stoppage, but as soon as it ended, I'm like, people are going to complain about that.
Yeah, I knew people would complain, but as you know, I saw like his face was just bleeding into the mat there, which obviously doesn't necessarily mean anything. But he had that giant cut on his cheek. His face was definitely broken and had been broken for a while. So.
What was the actual breakdown? What did they say it was?
I don't remember the exact.
It was a hairline mandible fracture or something.
Wow, on the money, I think.
But it doesn't matter because even if it was 2, I saw some of the scorecards were 2-2. That means that Usman still wins that last round.
100%.
He still wins the fight.
Right, and
he got a 10-8. He was 10-8.
Yeah, but then there would be like, I did Twitter reacts for the site, and there were a lot of his fellow fighters complaining about the stoppage, saying like, let him go out on a shield, this and that. And I'm like, if the storyline coming out of this is a bad stoppage, that's frustrating.
That's what I got bummed about the stoppage only because it gives Colby an out.
Yeah,
it gives Colby an out, and now the fact that we're even talking about it sucks for Usman because
right on the head.
That's what sucks because I actually when we always ask fighters, do you agree that fighters who get an early stoppage, we ask the winner, do you think the stoppage was early? They'll always go, no, yeah, it was a great stoppage. I was about to kill him. The answer should always be, hell yeah, it was an early stoppage because I was about to freaking knock his head off into the third row. He took that rep took that opportunity away from me decapitating him.
Yeah,
and that's what Usman should have said because I think that's what was about to happen. And then it's a clean knockout.
I thought the stoppage was completely warranted, but I think Casey hit on the head. The fact that we even have this conversation is so infuriating to me. It's kind of, I don't want to say there's a cloud, but it's because he would have won anyway. Yeah. That fight goes 50 more seconds. Usman's winning and there's no controversy.
And even if Colby would have lasted the last 30 seconds or 1 minute, just getting his ass handed to him, getting 10-8'd, then he couldn't be able to tweet, oh, Goddard, you're a fake ref. You know, it's like
You're fake news.
whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like actually, it would have been much. Covington got saved and saved because now he has it out. Like, just much like when Connor and Maymack.
Yeah.
When they
He
stopped the
didn't fall
fight,
down. Yeah.
he was like, no, that was a bad stoppage. Like I was just catching my breath. You know, so
A la over in Badahari too.
okay. I don't know what I'm looking at when I watch Volkanovski because I think I know a little bit of kickboxing. I don't know what he does. I don't know what it is when he's fighting. Now with Aldo, now with Holloway, where you're watching, you're just telling, it's like, dude, just punch him. You know what I mean? Like the way he just stifles these guys, just where they just let Volkanovski kind of control everything is sorcery.
And without wrestling.
It's so crazy. Like I was watching that, and it felt like every move Max made, Volkanovski was countering it before it happened. Like Eugene Berman, his coach of City Kickboxing, just studied so much tape on Max Holloway and was like, "Here's how you beat Max."
That's also super impressive on City Boxing. The way
Kickboxing.
City Kickboxing, the way they use that past footage because like it is so hard to be. That's why they always say staying champ is the hardest because there's so much footage on you.
100%.
And people know all your tendencies and like with all those 5-round decisions, all those just fights that Max has been in.
Max has been in a lot of long fights.
They've seen him in every situation.
It's true.
They've seen him in every single type of situation.
He's also been. They've seen fights where Max like that Dustin Poirier fight really showed how to beat Max too.
Yeah.
And like what has there been a fight where Volkanovski has like looked like he's in trouble in the UFC? I can't think of one.
Has he lost a round? Like
I don't know if he might have lost a round or two.
But maybe
him and Mendez was kind of a war.
I do not like the idea of a rematch. A direct rematch, like the next fight for both of those.
I think I liked the idea of doing the Ronda Rousey approach where Max takes some time off and then he just gets a title shot over whoever's champion.
Whoever champion at that time.
Yeah, like Volkanovski could fight like Zabit or the winner, or like if Korean Zombie wins or
Zaire or whatever, one of those guys,
and then whoever has the belt and Max comes it back, he fights the winner. I like that idea.
I think we need to miss Max a little bit.
Yeah, he fought a lot.
Yeah, I think I want
active.
A lot of 5-round fights because he fought December 2018 4 rounds, then Poirier 5 rounds, Frankie 5 rounds, Volkanovski 5 rounds. That's a lot of.
I was just so impressed watching, like, and he beat Max in a kickboxing match. Like there was almost no clinching, almost no tie-ups, no wrestling against the cage, nothing.
Is this the hardest hitter, like the most powerful person Max has fought?
At 45?
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's what I was gonna
I don't
say.
know, but when the way Max was reacting to those freaking hooks that Volkanovski would start throwing in the pocket, I think Holloway felt like that was the hardest hitter. Where like
Max thought he won too.
Let's talk about that.
Sure.
That's interesting as well.
Open scoring.
Open scoring.
Like open scoring.
I'm a big fan of open scoring. I'm not 100%. I don't 100% know how it will be implemented. But think how different that fight is if after the third round,
Max knows he's down.
3 rounds at least on one card. I'm not sure where he was on every other card, but coming into the 5th round, he knows that because according to him, he thought he was on his way to winning.
Yeah. Well, if you see like the race hand, he says "and still" and lifts both arms and then goes and then looks confused. Like he celebrates like very prematurely.
Yeah, and like because I thought maybe that was like every fighter kind of does that a little bit, but like in the post presser, I was kind of shocked. I thought he would be like, I knew these rounds were close, but he was all like, I gave him the first round because I'm a slow starter, and the rest of the last 4 I won. I was like,
when they read the score 50-45.
Yeah,
I knew it was Volkanovski.
100% because Max didn't win 2 rounds. I think. I had it 4-1.
I had a 5-0, 5-0,
yeah,
4-1.
4-1 doesn't matter.
Obviously, competitive. Every round's competitive. It wasn't like people go, oh, the fight was way closer than that. I go, yeah, I know it was way closer than that.
It wasn't Dos Anjos Pettis where Pettis lost every second of the fight.
By like a 10-8 every round, pretty much.
Or like.
Yeah.
I really regret not asking because I didn't think about the whole open scoring thing during the press conference last night. I kind of regret. Now afterwards, I was like, I wanted to ask Max if you known for sure you were down going in that 5th round, would you fight differently? And I think he would have said he was, but I'm just kind of curious. We're never gonna know because we're not gonna have open scoring in MMA for a while. But like, I would love to see a Max Holloway fight, knowing if I don't knock this guy out, I lose the fight.
To just bring to a random media day, like a slow media day.
Yeah.
Dan Saunders, what do you think about open scoring?
Yeah, it's like
On the next luncheon. It's a good luncheon question.
That is a good luncheon.
Because think about because like Jermaine, the rounds were clear that she lost. So going into that fifth, she knew she had to get the knockout. You know, but
yeah, you have a sense that you're down on the score.
Yeah, we already knew that. So the open, and I feel like most fights go that way, but there's so many fights that are like the Max and Volk, where like one guy their corners are just gonna be a little biased in their head, and they're gonna think that they won those rounds. And it kind of sucks because like it's a totally different fight. And does that take any drama away from because the crowd already knew Volkanovski lost? Because people are like, well, what about the drama? I want to see the drama of the hand raise and stuff. But like, no, it was just those three guys in the corner and Max that thought. So if only 4 people in that arena thought that Max was up.
Yeah, and it would have made the main event a lot more interesting in the third round. If both men knew that the winner of this round will most likely win the whole fight.
Yeah, that would be crazy too. Yeah, coming out in the fifth round.
Guns blazing.
Yeah,
or it could backfire and you could just get a grappling match. Like one person trying to just get a takedown. Like if Usman and Covington knew final round wins the championship and all of a sudden they're shooting for just takedowns from like 10 feet away, trying to just get on top, steal a round.
You think that would have happened? I don't think.
I'm saying it could happen.
But I think it could have happened regardless.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure, but like if you know 100% this round wins, like why wouldn't you just lay on top of a guy?
What? But isn't
that what Usman said that he went for it because he thought it might be close.
Yeah.
And all he wanted was to finish Kobe. So, but in the last round.
I don't know many fighters that can say I want to go to a decision.
Amanda Nunes.
I don't even think she wanted to go to a decision.
No, I don't believe her.
Do you want to buy that?
No.
Do you want to buy that?
No.
So what did Amanda Nunes say? Like
she's like, I wanted to go to, like I wanted to wrestle. I wanted to do this. I'm like,
So like, Amanda, so that first round you wanted to elbow her arms for 2 minutes straight.
You're saying you threw like 100 punches from the top because you wanted to go, you wanted her in 50-45 or 49-44, whatever it was. Like, the decade talk.
Okay.
Best knockout, still Holly Holm, head kicking Ronda Rousey, speaking of female head kicks.
So best knockout of the decade? Yes. Holly Holm over Ronda Rousey. It changed the freaking world.
I have like that. It's hard to go against that as number one. I have 3. It's that one, Connor 13-second over Aldo, and then Anderson front kicking Vitor. It was 2011.
I actually agree with your list, and the reason why I wanted to pick the Connor one, not because, mainly because I think it actually altered the MMA world. Maybe some might say for the worse, right? It changed the way we market fights. It changed the way, like, the attention, all that kind of stuff. These are knockouts that change the momentum of MMA, whatever. And so that's why they're important. So like Holly knocking out Ronda changed a lot of shit. But
yeah, we lost the biggest star.
Yeah, we lost the biggest star in the sport at that time. Yeah.
What do you think is an underrated knockout? People don't talk about enough of. I have a few.
So, Yair Rodriguez and Korean Zombie.
Yes.
People talk about it, but it's.
I remember sitting there octagon time, like that might have been the greatest knockout I've ever seen in my life.
Against that level of fighter, behind the scorecards with 0 time left on the clock.
Yeah. I really like the Shogun knockout of Machida because that snapped the Machida era, and he dribbled his head off, and then he stood up, like he stopped the fight. Mm-hmm. Or Weidman's knockout of Anderson Silva. At the time, I couldn't wrap my head around what I was seeing. Yeah, because I had just graduated college and everything. That's
my second one. My second best knockout of the decade is Weidman over.
That one, I was there for that one. I could not wrap my head around what I had witnessed because Anderson was still a god. Mm-hmm. I couldn't fathom what I was witnessing.
Yeah, actually, I think I actually picked Weidman, but I thought it was going to be a bad wrestle fest.
I picked Weidman. I thought it was going to be like a chael fight.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, that's what we thought was going to happen. But that when the guy that you think is going to win, but wins it a completely different way, that's kind of the most. As a fan, that's like one of the best. That's one of the neatest feelings. Best submission of the decade.
Selfishly, I like the Korean Zombie's Twister just because he is my favorite fighter to watch. But Anderson's triangle of chael, I think, has to go up there
in terms of just drama and. Like
for
that.
Drama, that was.
I think the Twister blew my mind.
Yeah,
I saw it.
When was freaking Verdum Fedor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Verdum Fedor.
I did not understand when I was watching when I saw that either.
So that actually, I take it back. I was thinking that might have been before 2009. So the greatest submission of the decade, Verdum over Fedor.
I don't hate it. It's like a similar to the Weidman Anderson. It's not like the most spectacular knockout, but
when it happened,
I couldn't believe
where those guys were at their careers.
I could not believe
Yeah.
And that was I wouldn't consider that like a tune-up, not a tune-up fight, but that was considered a half of a squash match for Fedor.
Fedor was supposed to beat Verdum and fight over him.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be the big matchup.
As far as a fan, this decade, what's been your top, I don't know, 5 moments? Like you remember, like all the events you've gone to. Like it's like, man, I'm so glad I got to see that. I got mine.
When Nate beat Connor the first time, the way the
That
arena
feel.
erupted,
Yeah.
it was just
I had so much beer poured on me that time.
it was just such an interesting, it was just crazy. The
Yeah.
frenzy was wild. We have a wide shot from the back, and you can just see everyone's hands shoot up, and it's just the kind of
It had the same feel as Holly Ronda in the sense that it built up. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It didn't just happen out of nowhere. It built. Feels good.
That Nate fight was the first time Casey and I introduced ourselves to each other.
yes,
Yeah.
And then because
over.
Biggie Boy fucking ending the decade off of one of the most mutilating punches I've seen him ever.
there's still one more fight card coming up in Busan. You never know when the career's out.
Well, yeah. But just to end that of all the freaking fights we've seen, then that still somehow, wow, I didn't know you can mutilate a face that much with one punch.
Yeah.
I'll say
It's like, wow, the human body is impressive.
it's not a singular moment that I witnessed, but I've been really happy to see the emergence and rise of Israel Adesanya this decade. He's been such Casey.
It's really only been the last 2 years.
Casey told him, he's like, you're doing the right, you got it right. He told him that. I was like, wow, I've never seen Casey tell a fighter that off camera.
I also have never seen Casey compliment anybody.
Anybody,
Yeah.
anything. I've never seen him take a bite of pizza and be like, this is good pizza. But he'll say that to Israel Adesanya, you're doing it right. And Israel Adesanya, I'm like, Izzy, I don't think you are aware. Forget the UFC championship.
This guy doesn't compliment
Casey
anyone.
just complimented you.
He's like, oh, if I wasn't so black, you could see me blush right now.
Yeah. It's just it's cool. It's selfishly cool to see a fellow weeb that can also just beat someone's ass. And
Yes.
not only is he a fellow weeb, he embraces it wholly. He does spirit bombs and the Naruto things and everything and the Death Note. I love everything.
The most underrated tweet of the decade is when Jones was making fun
He
of
said,
your
"Okay,
anime
boomer."
porn, and he's like, "It's hentai, you do." What is
Yeah,
that?
it's hentai, you dweeb.
Hentai, you dweeb.
Yeah, and then he said something else, and he's like, "Okay, boomer."
Okay. He kind of reignited a little bit of my love for the sport.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I have one really interesting question. I asked a lot of media members first. You like baseball, obviously. You're an Astros fan. So the perfect game is when the pitcher does nothing wrong.
Yeah.
I can think of 2 perfect games in MMA that I've witnessed. That's Connor beating Eddie and Anderson beating Forrest. Which one was a more impressive performance to you?
Oh.
Connor Eddie.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, Connor Eddie.
I think I don't disagree.
Because
but
I was picking Eddie going into that fight.
Yeah, but I thought Anderson was going to win. But that's Anderson in the Matrix. Is the most impressive. It was just impressive. And the fact when Forrest came out and told us what Anderson was saying just made it even more impressive.
Super underrated performance. Verdum over Kane.
Yes.
Super when he tapped him.
Yeah.
Super underrated.
Well, it tapped him after just demolishing him on the feet. Yeah.
I agree.
I think that's because people. And that's what sucks is people took credit away from Verdum because they're like, oh, Kane got tired. Kane got tired. C-level Kane, rather than going, holy crap. And for a moment there, Verdum was on his way to becoming the greatest heavyweight ever. Obviously, he didn't.
Got knocked out.
He was right. He was one win away. Right there.
Stipe.
Yeah, but all right, before we get the hell out, Esther,
Yes.
the decade. What's your favorite photo?
Oh.
Favorite?
Ooh.
Shit. Well, I have a couple, right? So, Anderson triangling Chael
Yes.
is one of my best photos.
When the arms are all everything was
the
Some
limbs
message
everywhere.
humanity.
Was Cyborg Gina more than a decade ago, or is that it?
It was
I think that was 09, 08.
it was 09.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the best photo I've ever seen.
That's my favorite photo. I peaked early.
Yeah.
I do really like the photo of Holly knocking out Ronda, mainly for the backstory in terms of the fact that it was like milliseconds away from me not being able to see it at all.
And it's so violent.
It is also
her face is like,
it looks like the Pantera cover. Yeah, the cover.
Yeah,
of Pantera.
you're right. Yes,
like,
you're right.
just like like the neck.
Yeah, it's pretty violent. Jeez.
Yes, dude.
There's so many. It's really hard for me to think about it, especially after.
I like the GSP with the ice pack.
GSP with the ice pack.
After the Anders fight.
One of my an underrated photo of hers, I think, is GSP when GSP beat Carlos Condit, but she has a photo of Carlos kicking GSP right in the head, and when Carlos came this close to beating GSP and he dropped him, but there's a moment the kick is because I got the shot early. You got the shot early, and the kick's like right here. And at the very moment you see GSP's eyes, like his eyes are open and he sees the kick coming. Oh man, that was a time to go. But I think that's just an amazing, because GSP, if he doesn't see that kick, that millisecond before to prepare for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could have been the greatest knockout.
So that's his sport, man. Like Carlos Condit, like could have been one of the greatest welterweights ever, rather than the Robbie Lawler thing, but that's a whole other discussion.
It happens. It happens.
What's your favorite moment of the decade?
Favorite moment, go.
I don't know. I honestly couldn't think of. I think I was 7 feet away from Anderson's leg getting snapped in half, so that's etched in my mind for the rest of my life.
Yeah,
it's not my favorite moment, but it's my most memorable. Someone
had asked me if Overeem's face splitting was worse than the leg break, and I said no, because this is, it's just different.
It's gross. But
plus Overeem wasn't even reacting.
Yeah,
he was just kind of standing there like, oh, that kind of sucks. But the way Anderson was screaming and grabbing his leg and how they carried him out, all of that was just such a
early Invicta. Early Invicta, I've been to big events. I was in the arena when Conor fought in Dublin. I was in the arena when Fedor lost the first time. I was in the arena when Anderson got knocked out. Being at those early Invicta events felt so special. And that's a thing that you were there, and it had such a different feel. I mean, to the point where the UFC bought the whole damn roster, essentially.
The whole strawweight roster, yeah. I think
those years, and Michelle Waterson versus Jessica Penne, cage side, shooting it, being there for the whole ride and watching that fight on just knowing both fighters on a personal level, that was, to me, that gave me the most feels of the whole year, the whole decade, honestly.
I think the 2010s can also be characterized by the rise of women's MMA too.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. It finally got a chance to shine. All kicked off by 2009 Gina and Cyborg. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
All comes full circle. And now
even come full circle even more. My very first gig I ever worked on was in MMA for an event, was working on the countdown show that Gina Carano and Julie Kedzie fought in Elite XC. I edited that piece.
Wow.
I didn't shoot it, but they gave me all the footage and I put it together.
Blast from the past.
And I didn't know who they were. They were just like, oh, 2 chicks fighting in a cage. Whatever. They're paying me $400 a day. Cool. To edit this.
There you go. And now she's starring in The Mandalorian.
Good coffee talk.
Good coffee. Good sparkling water talk.
Sparkling water talk. All right. To better. I don't know.
2020.
Let's see if we make it to 2030.
I'll be here.